Hello everyone, welcome back again to NPTEL online certification course on research methodology for planning and architectural studies. As we are discussing now about different case studies, especially where the authors they have used the quantitative research method, and today we are at lecture number 42. We'll be discussing another such case study, and here also we'll try to understand something new, different tools and techniques, how authors have used it to complete the study and also successfully publish the paper in a reputed journal. Now if we just try to understand the objective of this lecture, it's pretty same like the previous one, that in this case also we'll see another case study of quantitative research method and we'll summarize our understanding end of this lecture. Coming to the case study 3, this is a paper titled Location Evaluation of Existing Park and Ride Facilities Along a Transit Corridor, a case study of Delhi MRTS. Now this is authored by Aditya Manish Pitale, Professor Manoranjan Parida, and also it is co-authored by me. So this is the paper. It was published in Transportation in Developing Economics. It is a Spinger publication. The full citation, APA style citations is given over here, and then for your easy access to this particular paper, I have also added the keyword. Now before I discuss what is there inside in this particular paper, let us try to understand some of the new terms that are coming up in this title. One is the location, then park and ride. So let us understand what is park and ride, right? So some of you may know what exactly it is, especially it is one concept which can help to develop a sustainable transportation system in a city. So what exactly it is? Now we consider a point A and point B, and you have one road connecting A to B. How many ways you can go from like point A to point B? You can start walking, it will take some time. You start using your cycle, it will take some time. You use your two-wheeler, again it will take some time. But in these three cases, definitely two-wheeler will take the least time because of the speed. Now if you just go ahead, that maybe you go to car, you go to rail, so again you will find that probably if you move to car, it will even take lesser time, you have that speed. But not always. If you see a practical situation, a peak hour scenario in any urban context, there is a traffic jam early in the morning. So in that case, even if you see the road is only 500 meter or 1 kilometer, probably if you start walking, you will reach faster. Anyway, that is a different aspect. But in general, whenever we travel from one particular point to another point, so that distance can be covered by multiple mode. And what we have observed in recent times, over time, in last say 20-30 years, maybe even lesser than that, there is a huge growth of private vehicles. If you just look at the data, especially in India, you will see some sort of exponential growth of two-wheeler and four-wheeler data compared to public transport. Now the reasons are many. Maybe now purchasing power has increased, people can afford, or else in some cases the public transportation is not that much accessible, or in some cases maybe it is just the people choice that okay, I don't want to use that public transport because of the congestion or because of that particular crowd within the bus, I'll prefer my one. So as a consequences, what is happening, road are blocked in many cases with so many vehicles, they are now moving very slow, too much of emission, pollution, etc., etc. Now to tackle this issue, transport planner, the policymaker, government, they are trying hard. Even in India, they have formulated the national urban transport policy initially in 2006, then 2014. They have added some important points to mitigate this problem, so that all the development they should go towards a sustainable transportation system in a city. So for that, you see that earlier when you say that name a city which is having metro rail, like 15-20 years ago, only it was like only Kolkata. It has the fast metro rail. After that, Delhi metro has come, and now if I ask you the same question in recent day, how many cities are having metro? Double digit number you can give, and many cities they are coming up with such kind of metro rail and all. So MRTS stand for Mass Rapid Transit System. So what is transit? So transit is like a, you can say, a mode of travel which can carry a group of people and which is having a fixed route, and also it has a fixed schedule, that each 15 minutes, each 10 minutes you will get a particular metro. It is not like whenever you ask you will get that, or it will come to your doorstep, etc. So because of this metro, because of such kind of MRTAs, or sometimes it may also like refer to some other option like BRTs or bus rapid transit system, the main purpose is to make some sort of travel or move people from one place to another without any much obstruction, because they are having dedicated corridor or dedicated lane. Now the issue is that many cases, even if the corridor is very well designed, but how to access the metro rail station, how to access the BRT station? So last and first mile connectivity is question. So for that, definitely some of the projects, they are not really getting the intended ridership, and it's again not functioning as it was dreamed for. So first and last mile connectivity is very important. This is one aspect. Second one is that there are group of people, even if you like improve the public transport, probably they will not happily shift to this particular public transport because of many reasons. But if we go with this attempt of park and ride, so that is something where you don't say that you stop your vehicle and use whatever is available public transport or intermediate public transport. You can use your own vehicle, you can use your own car, two-wheeler or bicycle up to the nearest station, and then you park your vehicle over there and use the public transport for maximum of your total trip length. So what is happening there? At the same time, they don't need to depend on that particular chances, whether I'll get an auto, whether I'll get a particular mode to access the metro station. I can drive my own car, I can use my own two-wheeler, I'll reach to the metro station, or I'll just reach to the bus stop, and then I park my vehicle over there, so that end of the day also when I come at night, I'll also not wait. I have my own car or I have my own two-wheeler and I use the public transport. Now what will happen in that case? As because after the metro station, trips are grouped together with a public transport, then there will be tremendous reduction in the vehicle kilometer travel, that either individually they had to go from one point to another point, now it is cut short, only a particular accessible distance up to the station. So that way we can reduce the vehicle kilometer travel, the total kilometer that normally a vehicle can travel each day, or maybe whatever the duration that you will pick up. And whenever you will be able to do this kind of thing, it will also impact on reduction in pollution, congestion, other vehicles can easily move. And for that, this park and ride is something. Now if I just try to summarize, that you take your car okay, from your house, you go to metro station, park there, and use the metro rail and reach another station, and from there you can take up something which is available, like it may be a public bike sharing or it may be within a walkable distance. So you go to your destination. So origin and destination, you use your own car, park there. So park your vehicle and ride the public transport. In short, it is park and ride. Okay, hope now this is clear. Now with that, we'll move ahead with what actually has been done in this case, and it is the location evaluation. Because one thing is that, a facility, that whenever we say that a new infrastructure is required, we assess the need and we just calculate that this many new facilities will be required to serve the people or the demand. But where to locate? Can we locate them together, or if it is far away, what should be that distance, what should be that criteria? It's not that easy. It will depend on certain factors as well. So in this paper, we'll get to know that. Now coming to the background, already I have mentioned, so probably we'll just go very quickly in this. The uses of private vehicles has become an essential mode of travel in cities and cannot be eliminated easily, because there are many policies. Probably there are certain reduction but not like eliminated. And also this is not possible, because whenever like I have that kind of affordability, I want to have that comfort, definitely there is no such kind of restriction to be made to not to use the car. There arises a need to develop strategy that can improve the accessibility of the existing transit network. As I already mentioned, maybe you have very good connectivity between A and B, but you have settlement C, you have settlement D, and they are not really getting this particular facility because there is not very well established and planned facility. Like this, we can say the first mile, this is last mile, and it will be reverse. So first and last mile, depending on the direction. In the morning, probably your house to station is first mile and another station to your destination is last mile. While coming back, it will be just opposite. So this is something is required. Park and ride is a strategy used worldwide to attract private vehicle users as well. So if you improve it for like providing IPT, providing say auto rickshaw, e-rickshaw as access mode, you will get the people who are using it and they will be happy to use it more. But for private vehicle users, this is one of the strategy where we don't ask them that you leave your vehicle at home and then you come. You can use it till the station and then use the public transport. Park and ride facilities in Delhi, in some of the places like Delhi, they have extensive metro network and they also have certain sort of parking, keeping in mind that this park and ride to be promoted. And they have fare system, they have some of the parking bays already made, but many of them are saturated, running at maximum capacity, but many of them also having some sort of no vehicle parked over there. So that means it is required to examine the issues, why this is used, why this is not used. Is it the locational advantage or it is disadvantage by which some of them are having higher utilization, some of them having lower or no utilization, like that. And many cases you may find that there are parked vehicle, but they are just parking, using that parking lot as their individual desire. Probably they are staying nearby, they are having some business, so they park. They are not essentially using the metro. So then even if it will serve as a parking lot, but not as a park and ride. So research gap, no studies or guideline for Indian cities available that can, in recent times, yes, we have done some work with our masters and PhD student, we have done certain work on park and ride, we'll discuss another one or two such kind of examples where we have taken a different objective, and then how we have utilized the qualitative methods. I'll talk when we discuss the qualitative research method and the case studies. So no studies or guideline for Indian cities that can help in determining the ideal location for park and ride available. So that is a gap. Also, there is no such document exists in the Indian context that provides information for evaluating the location. So facility location problem is something very important. Nowadays, probably you must have seen something like facility location for e-vehicle charging station. So where to locate it, because that is something very important, so that that facility should not get crowded. At the same time, it should not run in loss that there are no takers. The objective of the study to develop a checklist for evaluating the location of existing PNR facilities in Delhi, and in this particular case, to demonstrate, we have taken the green line of Delhi metro network, and here you can see different stations, they are marked, and they have some sort of parking facility available. Now coming to the methodology, so in this case definitely selecting any location is similar to making any such decision to select any product. I have given this kind of example earlier also, now maybe I am giving it again. You wish to purchase a mobile phone, okay, what are the criteria? Definitely the criteria may differ, but broadly if I say that you will look into the battery backup, you will look at the screen size, then now maybe you can say that how sleek it is, then the camera, very important nowadays, that rear camera, then is there something like extra sensor for the night photography, all those cases, the number of slots they are available, processors, etc. There are so many options, and then you see the variation. Somewhere if you go with the high end camera, the price is more, somewhere it is something high battery backup, then price is more, but the brand is something different. So many a times, like, not to take a name of any brand, we are very much strict to a brand that okay, even if this is costly, I know that I trust this particular brand of mobile phone, I'll pick it up. But if I remove that brand thing out, then we make always a trade-off that which can give you the best fit. Maybe you go with certain kind of assumption to a shopping mall to purchase a particular mobile phone, and then you find that another product which you never thought of come up with certain sort of features which can satisfy you more, and then you can go ahead with that. So it is a multi-criteria decision making. So selection of the criteria, and then you have the score. It is again similar to a calculation in a semester system, the CGPA. So you have you can say a marks and a grade point. So whatever, like, you have a credit score for each subject. So suppose a subject A has 4 credit, subject B has 3 credit, and then you have for subject A you got something like 10, and for subject B you got 9. So now how to calculate the CGP in that case? So 4 into 10 plus 3 into 9, and then 4 plus 3. So like that you get certain kind of number. So score is also important. One is criteria and then the score. So that's what we have picked up in this particular study. Now through extensive literature review and all, we have identified the set of criteria for facility location of park and ride. So this is distance from major activity center or central business district, distance from transit station, distance from major road, location before traffic congestion, because whenever you find that okay, from a residential location you are entering to a congestion, then probably you will not be interested because you will spend time in the congestion to reach the station. Surrounding land uses, service to the maximum population, that is also required, and then distance from the other PNR. So if two are neck to neck, then definitely one will be in advantage. So this will be something like influencing each other. And for that, based on the literature and then in the context of Delhi, we have given certain sort of, you know, criteria label with the assigned score. So say for example, distance 6.4 meter 1, when it is more than 16 kilometer, then we give 4. So like that, whenever the distance from transit station more than 450 and less than 150. So why distance from CBD is like the maximum is given the high score? Because whenever you have very smaller distance, you don't feel like to choose the parking. Okay, so this is something that you can meet with other mode of transport. Whenever it is a long distance, then you only think about uncertainty to get a confirmed seat or something like that. Then probably this can work better. So like that we have defined this, and after that we have make some sort of on field evaluation checklist. We went to each and every station and then give the score which fit based on this. So these are nothing but all the station in the green line and then their score. So if I read this table, like whenever you get Inderlok, the first criteria having 1, so that means that it is less than 6.4 kilometer. Now when I see that okay, this is something like location before the traffic congestion 0. So 0 is a score which is assigned when this is not applicable. After that, we just go for the data collection, evaluation of PNR facilities along the green line only for to demonstrate. PNR facility corridor score ranging 1 to 4 based on the table. The score increases along with the range, it fits an ideal solution. So if you just try to see that if a station is meeting all these labels of this, that particular score of 4, so that means it is the ideal solution, but it is not possible because it is just evaluation. Somewhere you find that some of the stations they are having 3, 4, 2, 1, sometimes it is even not available, not applicable, then 0. Next is that the method, the score assessment under each criteria were considered, and then in this method we have used the technique for order preference by similarity to ideal solution, a TOPSIS. This is again you can say that whenever your data is not normal, so this can be very well used with those kind of categorical variable or maybe some ordinal data. This is very useful multi-criteria decision making technique. So I am not going to discuss the step of this. It is being described in the paper. So I would suggest that you can go through to understand the stages. By this, what we are going to do, it is something where we find a best solution, okay, and a worst solution. So positive ideal solution and negative ideal solution, and then whatever the solution coming for each station, we just try to measure the Euclidean distance, and by that we calculate a TOPSIS score. So then we just take the value. Now for that, here we have the criteria, and then we assume each criteria they are having the equal weightages. One may differ, like whenever you go for different weightages to the attribute, then you can get a different findings, but in this case the assumption was like that. Now ration for this method, because it allows decision makers to assign weight. In this case we assume equal weight for all criteria. It also normalizes the criteria value to ensure that each criteria contributes proportionally to the decision making process. So each are considered in this case. It also identifies most favorable alternative by considering both proximity to the ideal solution and remoteness from the worst case scenario. So that means positive ideal solution and negative ideal solution, and then we calculate. So here you can see that finally the table and this is the station specific score. So as I already mentioned that after getting all these values, after doing the on field survey, so finally when you compute in those values in TOPSIS, this is the positive ideal solution 0.736 and negative is 0.110, and finally this is what we get about the relative closeness to the ideal location, or it is actually you can say the TOPSIS score. And based on this score we have given the rank. Higher the score is better performing and very close to the ideal solution. So ideal solution definitely in this case if everything matches will come to 1, but it is not the case. So Pandit Sri Ram Sharma metro station in green corridor was found to be the most effective location, and this is based on the calculated value. And if we see that the last one is the Madhipur in this, right. So this is just one demonstration of a corridor. It can be expanded to other corridors which requires data on field verification, assigning the score. It can be further investigated if we vary the criteria weightages and all, so that can be added to this. Coming to the conclusion, the park and ride facilities close to CBD are least preferred in this, and location far from CBD are observed most preferred, because whenever the distance is more, then probably people will choose the park and ride. Sometimes reducing the number of PNR facilities functioning along the corridor can improve the efficiency, because some of them are not working fine. So it's better not to uh, just invest more on that, rather than you can improve or augment the capacity where it is being used. This can assist the transport planners and operators to determine the suitability of a location in this context. Take away from this study, which is important, how an MCDM approach can be useful to evaluate the facility location. Here we have used TOPSIS, the score and all. Use of on-field information as a source of data to evaluate, because it is based on the actual data that which is measured spatially and also on field. Creating flexible range of scoring different criteria based on existing literature and in the context of study. So giving a score, definitely in this case whatever the ranges that we have defined, that is based on literature, based on actual time, distance, which is common for the Delhi context. This may differ if you try to use this study or approach for other city, maybe those ranges may vary little bit, but overall like ranges that will not change much, because people they will have certain sort of change in decision when distance changes from one to another. Say for example, if I ask you that you have to travel 20-meter, will you use your car or you can walk? To 20-meter you say 20-meter I can walk in a prevailing condition. I am not saying it's extreme weather. It will not change much, even you walk here or you walk in some other places, it will not change. But whenever I say that okay, would you mind to walk for 10 kilometer, probably then question or simple answer will be no, I cannot think of, if there is no other if and buts involved into it. So with that, I am sure that you get some insight, you are interested to know TOPSIS more, which you can also use in your study. So for that you can go through this paper. If you have any questions on the method or doubt, you can ask in the forum. So with that, again this is another case study that we have discussed today, another application of quantitative research method. In this case the main objective was to check the locational feasibility, or you can say the efficiency of park and ride in case of Delhi Metro, right. So with that I ended this particular lecture here, and will come up with another case study and we'll see a different application altogether. So till that time, thank you very much for joining the course. We'll meet you soon.